Hi, welcome to another Canto Roboflow training movie. In the movie today, we're not going to focus on the functionalities of Roboflow itself, but the possibility of integrating, communicating with Roboflow from the outside world. As you probably have already seen in many of the other training movies, with Roboflow, you can copy records, copy files, catalog files, export files, import tab-limited text files, create pin collections, all kinds of standard Commute functionalities that can be automated with Roboflow. So I created a workflow that is a hot folder workflow, the type of workflow that looks in a folder and processes the files that are dropped in it. And the folder I'm looking in is this particular folder, and I'm waiting for XML files to come in. I'm going to read these XML files and process the information that is in there. How do I accomplish this? Well, in my website, I can add a personalization, a form, or a separate HTML page in which I can ask the user to enter some information. And by doing so, then I can save this information to Roboflow. A typical example is if I'm here in Portals, I can make a few selections, and then if I go to the basket, I personalized this page so that you now have a mail button. And I added an HTML page in which you can make a choice that you want the selected records, that there is a mail sent to the person you specify here, creating a collection of records that are in the collection basket, which in sites was commonly known as pin collection or mailing the basket to somebody. This functionality is not yet available in Portals, but you can already open such a collection in Portals. So what we're doing is test demo, and then I'm saying, hi Peter, please find the selected records. Regards, Peter. And I can submit. At this point, it talks to Roboflow over a specific port. Roboflow, because there is the web server console that needs to be able to talk to the Roboflow backend for you to be able to manage it, you can also talk from another application to it, and that way it can save the information that you've entered, that the user enters in a form. So it saves this form information to an XML file, and let's have a quick look in this XML file. The way this XML file is structured is that it just saves all the form elements as XML information for your file here. And what do we see? Well, it can send the user information like the email address, etc. Even the technical definition of the user, so you could save it into the system. You can know which catalogs were available, so you can pick that up. I've picked up what I typed in, and I defined what kind of action I want to do in my Roboflow workflow. I'm looking for this particular field. I can read this XML file and can say if this particular field is equals to pin, which I define as a hidden field in my form, it will automatically create a pin collection, and it knows what the from address is, the to address is, the email to send it to, and that way you have you can also see the selected records. It has the catalog name, it has the record ID, and it has the ID it had inside Portals, because Portals doesn't work with catalog IDs. It works with a kind of formula that bundles the catalog ID, the catalog index, together with the record ID, which is then recalculated to the real catalog and record ID. So this information is sent to Roboflow automatically from your website. And now if I run the workflow, which in real life would be running, for instance, every 30 seconds or every 15 seconds, if I run the workflow, it will read this XML file, and once it's processed, it will delete it. Just in the workflow, I'm keeping the XML file, so you can always come back to it and check what the request was. You can have a logging of it. But now, based on the information in there, you can do whatever you want with the selection of records, the user, and whatever action was requested. Whatever Roboflow can do, you can now add as a functionality to your website. So basically what I did in this case was create a pin collection. So if I'm picking up my mail for the email that I was sending to, I can see here that it is actually processing it, and I got the email. It has my header, it has my text that I typed in, so that's my subject, and then you have the URL. If I click on the URL, you will notice that it opens portals and opens a download collection, and here you are. You can now work with this particular collection. You can use it as a pin collection, a download collection, so you can share it with other users. A nice other so this is what you can do with a selected bunch of records. You could add the functionality that instead of sending an email, that you want to do a bulk edit. So that's also a possibility. I will show you a single edit in a few moments. So you can say, okay, I want to offer the functionality of print templates in portals. So you select PDF print, and you can automatically now send the mail, and it will create a print template. If you want, you could add a drop-down list with the different print templates you want to offer you want to select from. Same, another functionality which was sometimes also implemented in sites, because we already were doing this kind of stuff also in the past in sites, is that when you are downloading stuff from portals, sites, Cumulus Web Client, the problem is that all the processing is done on your web server. If you select 20 files, it will copy those 20 files to your web server and then process them on your web server, which can be take a lot of processing power. Some customers who have heavy-duty websites where a lot of people coming in could have trouble offering the download functionality, because if 50 people at the same time request 50 different files, converted, zipped, or whatever, then it would slow down your website enormously. An alternative is just to ask Roboflow to create the zip. It's like mail, where you have the option in sites when you click on the download button that you can ask that the zip is mailed to you. Well, this is exactly the same functionality. This will process everything on the Roboflow server, on a different server if you want, or even on several different servers if you want to spread the processing, and the result will be mailed as a link to the customer. So the customer clicks on the URL and it starts downloading. So all these functionalities can very simply be added by using this Roboflow integration. Another example is if you go to an individual record, you can click, you can add a button, edit, with a form of a couple of fields you want to set. So I could say, okay, maybe I want to set the value here to approved, and maybe I want to change this, instead of test, I want to change this to my movie test, and I can submit. Again, nothing else that happens is that here you can see that it creates a little XML file on a different server. It talks to Roboflow over the Roboflow port, the same port that the server console, the web server console, uses to talk to Roboflow. And when this process is running automatically, it will automatically set the field value. So all very straightforward and simple. If I go back to my website, I can see, if I call it again, that it is changed airplane, sky, my movie, test. So you can see that you can do very easily some nice integrations, some adding functionalities to portals, just sending form information, for input form information from portals or even the Cumulus web client to Roboflow. So the same can be done with Roboflow. You have a development framework in the Cumulus web client that gives you the possibility to add buttons to several parts of Roboflow, of Cumulus web client. So one example here is, so you can say, okay, I want to do something with this. So this could be, I want to create a portal collection. I want to delete some records. I want to create a zip. So you can add whatever functionality. Again, this information is stored in your XML file, and Roboflow picks up the XML file and executes whatever options you wanted to use. So this was another training movie on Roboflow. Today we focused on how you can integrate Roboflow functionalities into your websites. As I mentioned before, I gave you the example of portals and Cumulus web client, but it doesn't even require to be a Cumulus website. It can just as well be your own website in which you have asked the user to enter some information and you can post it to Roboflow. Thank you for joining, and see you in another demo movie.